Afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me to be on the call. And Sunny, thanks for letting me go first, although I was kind of looking forward to the whole afternoon off, but that's okay. As some of you I've met, I think a few of you out there. Hey, Ms. Marietta. I just want to give y'all a little update on the Medicare open enrollment. As you all know, it started on October 15th, and it's going to run through December 7th. So anyone that has a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare prescription drug plan, now is the time they need to just look at it and see if they need to keep what they have as we go into 2015, or do they need to get a plan that may better benefit them cost-wise and coverage-wise for next year, for 2015. I provided Sunny with a list of all the drug plans, which are also in the back of the Medicare and You book. So whatever, doesn't matter what parish you live in, if you choose a Medicare prescription drug plan, they will cover you regardless if you're in the North Shore and then someone in North Louisiana, you choose the same plan. Everyone will pay the same premium, co-pays depending on your pharmacy, and deductibles if the plan has one in place. Your Medicare Advantage plans, on the other hand, are those plans that are going to be parish by parish. And this year, Louisiana saw some plans that will not be available for next year. One of those plans, if you live in the St. Bernard area, will not be available. The People's Health is not going to be available in St. Bernard Parish for 2015. The beneficiaries down there will have some options for plans, but not that particular plan. They'll have Humana plans as well as WellCare. And they do have any of the Medicare prescription drug plans that they want. They have the right to enroll in one of those and be on just traditional Medicare, or choose a prescription drug plan and get a Medicare supplement, or Medigap policy as some people call it. Then in Lafourche, Assumption, and St. Mary, Medicare beneficiaries that are covered under the United Healthcare's Medicare Direct Essentials plan. That plan will be leaving those three parishes, as well as one of the Humana plans for 2015. Beneficiaries in those parishes will have some other options for Medicare Advantage plans, or they can go back on just traditional Medicare with a prescription drug plan. Altogether in Louisiana for 2015, we have about 4,000 Medicare beneficiaries that will have to make a choice as to what they're going to want their health care to be for next year. Sunny has up right now on your screen the list of Medicare prescription drug plans, and you can see for Louisiana for 2015, our least expensive plan will be $15. It's offered by Humana Walmart, and our most expensive plan will be the Aetna plan for about $130. They're going to vary based on the medications that you take, is what will help guide to the best plan that is for you. We do have a couple new plans for 2015. The WellCare Simple is a new plan. As far as name-wise, it's new. As far as benefit, it's an old plan. It was the old Windsor plan from the previous year. And then we've seen a couple plans go away from last year that we've had. And then we've also seen overall most of the premiums have kind of fluctuated just a little bit in some of the plans. If you see the column that has the asterisk in it, that column represents if you know a person that is on a fixed income, a low income, and they're receiving Medicaid or the low income subsidy help, then those plans with the asterisk, if they cover the medications that the person takes, they can get that plan and not pay a premium or that deductible and get their medications for low copays. In some instances, $1 or $3, $1 for generic, $3 for brand, but most commonly you'll see the $2.65 for generic, $6.60 for brand name medications. But these plans, it doesn't matter what parish in Louisiana you live in, everyone has the right to get one of these plans. But if they choose a Medicare Advantage plan, that plan should include their prescription drug, so they wouldn't need a standalone prescription drug plan for next year. Medicare has released information about the donut hole for next year, for 2015, and it's gone up just a little from 2014. The deductible went up $10 from $310 to $320, and then the beneficiary, you being the policyholder, if you took a Medicare Part D plan, you would pay $660 in that initial coverage area, while your plan pays the $1,980. Combined, you would look at $2,640 out of pocket before you hit the donut hole or that gap. And this year, 2015, as we work toward getting that donut hole shrunk, if you get brand name medications, you would pay 45% of the medication cost, and if it's a generic, you're paying 65%. Until you alone, excuse me, I should say you in the plan, but until you alone have spent out about $3,700 in the gap. In this particular area, this is where for some people they may go to like the Senior RX program, that Louisiana Senior RX, where the ladies there will try to get your medications from the pharmaceutical company if you do not qualify for any other assistance programs. Now, if you know individuals that are on very low income or raising, say like grandparents raising grandchildren, or you have multiple persons that you're helping support that are related to you by blood, marriage, or adoption, then there's what they call the low income subsidy or extra help program that could possibly help offset some of those costs. But remember, any assistance program, whether it be through Medicaid or the low income subsidy extra help program through Social Security, are all going to be income and asset driven. Your home is excluded and a vehicle, but any other money that you have coming into the home or money in the bank, stocks, bonds, those types of things will count as an asset. The other thing that I wanted to point out during open enrollment is that Medicare has released the 2015 premiums, deductibles, and co-insurances for next year. So what we have been told is that the Medicare Part B, as in boy, premium will not go up. So what you're paying now, the $104.90, is what you will pay next year in 2015. The Medicare Part B, as in boy, deductible, that's a calendar year, it's not going to change either. It's $147 this year, it'll be $147 next year. What is going to change is the Part A out-of-pocket expense. So if you go inpatient to the hospital in 2015 and all you have is just Medicare, then your Part A inpatient deductible will go from $1,216 to $1,260 for next year. That's if you stay in the hospital 1 to 60 days. If you stay in the hospital longer than 60 days, then you're going to start being charged co-insurances per day ranging from $315 up to the 90th day, then going up to $630 beginning on your 91st day of being an inpatient in the hospital. If you need skilled nursing, I've fallen and broken a hip and I need to go for rehab, and I'm going to receive that rehab through skilled nursing. Medicare will pay the first 20 days in full, and beginning the 21st day, then I will be responsible for $157.50 per day from 21 to 100 days in that skilled setting. Any questions so far? It's a lot of information.
Does anybody have any questions for Vicki?
Well, I'd like to know if you're satisfied with what you have, do you have to change?
No, ma'am, you do not. We just encourage everyone to look at what they have because the premium for your plan may have gone up. And especially if you're looking at prescription drug plans, the formularies may have changed. So you just want to verify that your medications are still going to be covered.
Thank you.
Vicki, I'll ask a question about a rehab for the skilled nursing, I guess, or nursing homes. Does that apply? Also, if you're getting rehab in a nursing home?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of times you're under that skilled nursing co-insurance, and you're receiving that benefit through the nursing home. Maybe part of the nursing home is classified as skilled, and the other part is classified as a true nursing home setting. So you would fall under that skilled nursing co-insurance where Medicare is going to pay the first 20 days, and then you're going to pay beginning the 21st day. But to qualify for skilled nursing, you have to have a minimum of a 3-day hospital stay prior to going into the skilled setting, whether it's in a nursing home or in a freestanding rehab facility.
Does that also apply to your Veterans Administration nursing homes?
Well, no, ma'am. No, what you receive in a veterans facility, VA is going to pay solely on. Medicare and VA do not coordinate. Medicare pays out of a VA, outside the VA network. VA pays inside the network.
Thank you. I needed to know that.
No problem.
Do we have any other questions for Vicki? Okay.
Well, if anybody has questions, if you think of any, please feel free to email me. Sunny has my email address, or call our office, and we'll be glad to answer your questions anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it. It's a lot of really good information for us to have, not only for ourselves, but for the beneficiaries that we serve.
Oh, yes, yes. And just remember to tell your beneficiaries when y'all are out doing your amazing work that you do. Medicare's not going to be knocking on their door. Medicaid's not going to be knocking on their door, and neither will SHIP.
Right.
The only people knocking are going to be an agent or a scammer.
Right.
Probably a scammer.
And sometimes those go hand in hand.
That's right.
Right.
This is true.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good afternoon.
You too, Vicki.
Okay, you too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, let's see. All right, well, we can go ahead with our volunteer exchange. We'll go ahead and open the floor up to you guys. Do you have anything that you would like to share with the group? Any news? Have you heard anything out there in your community that you would like to share with everybody?
I haven't been out that much, so no, I don't have anything.
No?
No, me either. I just had an event last week, and it was a lot of people are very aware of the scams that are going on, so that was good.
And that was the first time that we had been to St. Francis, Jeannie. I don't think that any of us had ever gone there before.
I know I haven't. Very nice. Very nice coordinator they have there.
Where is that?
Xavier on Metairie Road. St. Francis Xavier on Metairie Road.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Well, if nobody has anything that they would like to share, we'll go ahead and and move forward. Recently, the SMP Resource Center unveiled its new website for the Senior Medicare Patrol. And volunteers can visit the site. It's at smpresource.org. As you can see, there are many different features available for current and even our potential volunteers. There's a wealth of information on the SMP program, current fraud schemes with the information separated by the type of fraud, lessons on how to read your MSN, and much more. And there's even a page that is dedicated to the volunteer risk and program management policies that y'all are tired of hearing me talk so much about. And you can see it all for yourself, and I'm going to open it up and show it to you real quick. I'm sorry, I was supposed to have this ready.
And Sonny, what is the website for this? SMP what?
It is smpresource.org.
R-E-S-O-U-R-C.org. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And when I first started working on these slides for the webinar, our most recent PSA that featured our Louisiana Attorney General Buddy Caldwell, he was on the homepage. So I was really excited about, showing it to you guys because he was right there on the front. But it's since been moved to make way for information about open enrollment. So it's not there anymore, but it was right there on the front. But this is it. This is what it looks like. And so I like that the new design has, this information right here. So it's the original site, the way they had it set up, it wasn't real easy for, a volunteer or even a beneficiary to do the locator, to use the locator. And now it's right here on the front. They just click on it, select the link, and it's going to open up the page for Louisiana and tell them who they need to call. But if you look right here, the resources, if you go to fraud schemes and click on that, it's going to bring you to a listing of the fraud schemes. And it's, broken down by type of fraud: ambulance services, behavioral health, consumer scams, and medical identity theft, and so on. So depending on what your interest is, if you're looking for a certain piece to use maybe during a presentation or some of your outreach, you can go here and find something.
Great.
There's also information for, how you can help. Prevent, detect, report is right here. And I know y'all saw on the newsletter the volunteer testimonials. Dee, did you see your testimonial on the newsletter?
Yes, I did. Sure did.
It's right there at the very front of the testimonial page.
Yep.
So that's what they use. So, there's a lot of information here for you guys to use if you so choose. There's dollars lost to fraud schemes, the videos that they have available, the Stop Healthcare Fraud, and then there's ours right there with the Attorney General.
Good.
That's just another tool that you guys can use.
Yeah. I think it's very good.
And we don't want you to forget about lasmp.org, which is our volunteer website that was created for you guys by a volunteer, Ms. Nicoletta, who's on the call with us today. And on this site, you can always see the latest in fraud from our state. We're always posting the latest articles that, involve Louisiana in fraud. So don't forget to visit this one and use the tools that we have available here as well.
Yep. Okay.
All right. And next up, here we go. I wanted to take just a few minutes to look at where we were at with our numbers for 2014. As you can see here, these are the measurables that the Office of Inspector General is interested in seeing every year. So these are the numbers that we report back to them using the SmartFacts computer system that we have. you report to us the information that you have from your events, your presentations and your community outreach events, excuse me. You tell us how many red brochures you've handed out, how many people you've talked to. We take that information, enter it into SmartFacts, and this is what it generates. So we take it and we break it down, and we have it here as compared to the years prior. So we also like to look at the year-to-date for 2014 as compared to the year-to-date for 2013. Every year we set a goal for the number of beneficiaries reached and the number of active volunteers. It's just an internal goal for ourselves. It's not something that we get pipped for, and we don't get in trouble if we don't reach those goals. We just like to have a good round number for us all to work toward. Our goal for 2014 is to reach 22,121 beneficiaries and to have 48 active volunteers. As of today's date, we are currently at 15,538 beneficiaries, and we have 46 active volunteers. And that includes 4 new volunteers who are in various stages of training right now. We have 2 new volunteers in the Baton Rouge area, and well, 3 actually, and then we have 1 that I will be orienting next week in Lafayette. So comparing 2014 to 2013, we're actually ahead by about 325 beneficiaries, and we think that's pretty amazing. We're doing a really good job.
Especially with fewer events.
Especially with fewer events. And without you all, none of this would even be possible. We need your help during this home stretch to make our goals a reality. We are right in the midst of our fall season, and our calendar is busy with lots of health fairs, lots of community outreach events where we're going to need booths, and we're going to be handing out a lot of information. And these are going to be the big events that are going to help us with the numbers that are going to put us closer to reaching that 22,000 beneficiary goal. So I hope that you'll take a look at the calendar and try to volunteer for something that we have coming up in your area. Does anybody have any question about these numbers or anything?
No, I'm just looking forward to going to some of the health fairs and things like that. I really enjoy those.
They're my favorite too.
My
favorite too. All right. Well, that's 2014. And then right here we have, when Monique and I attended the conference in Washington in August, there were many opportunities for SMPs to share the types of things that their volunteers are doing in their communities to help spread the fraud, waste, and abuse message. And many of you have kind of gotten with us over the years, and even some of you in the survey that we sent recently have kind of let us know that you might be interested in trying something new, something other than the typical 15 to 20-minute presentation. So I kind of thought that maybe you would be interested in seeing what some of the other SMP volunteers are doing and see if you think it might be something that would work here in Louisiana. And the first thing is a short skit that was performed by the California SMP. And I have a clip of it on video that you can watch, and it gives you an idea of what the skit entails. And we have the script for it. It would take 2 volunteers to pull. Well, the next thing that we heard about in the at the conference was a Medicare fraud song, a song that the SMP in Delaware shared with us. And they actually perform a song during their presentations. I couldn't find a clip of it or the lyrics on the Resource Center's website to share with you all today. I don't know if we have any Grammy Award-winning recording artists in our midst, but if someone is interested in learning more about that, I can certainly get in touch with the Delaware SMP and get that information for us. They performed a very short skit and the song at the conference, and it was great. Monique and I were completely fooled sitting in the audience. We didn't know what was going on, and then when we realized what was happening, it was very enjoyable. The next thing we have, I know most of you will remember the Medicare fraud bingo that we borrowed from the main SMP, and we debuted it here in Louisiana back in November. It has been a huge success at the senior centers and independent living facilities that we have visited. We've had a few brave volunteers take on hosting a bingo, and to my knowledge, their experiences were all positive. I haven't heard anything back negative. Earlier this summer, Maine created another bingo game, and this one is a little more consumer fraud related. It deals a little bit more with information that you put on the computer and phones, and we've kind of taken it, adapted it, made it our own, and put more of the Medicare fraud back into it, so it's a good mixture of both. That would be another option for you if that's something that you think you would be interested. I personally have hosted many of the bingo games, and they're always a hit. I think the Fraud Fighter version would also be well received. And finally, the Maryland SMP shared information on what they call the Happy Birthday Project. And we're currently looking into whether or not it would be something that's feasible for us to do, but we wanted your input on it as well. And what happened is in Maryland, they purchased mailing lists for individuals who were turning 65 and new to Medicare within the 3 to 6 months of their targeted mailing date. And then what they did was they crafted a targeted mailing invitation inviting these people to attend an Understanding Medicare presentation. And they did this in conjunction with their SHIP. So SHIP came in and did the presentation piece on Medicare and what they needed to know about Medicare, and then SMP did the Medicare fraud piece. And we wanted to look into doing this partnership with our local SHIP office, and we've talked to Vicki about it, and we think she's probably on board with it. And we thought about trying it out here in Baton Rouge first, since it's fairly easy for staff to, it's local for us to put this together. And then if it's successful, maybe trying it in the New Orleans area too. And I wanted to see what you all thought about it, just to see it if, as a consumer, if you think if you received an invitation like this in the mail, just a random mailing inviting you to something like this, if you thought that it would be something that you would be interested in attending. You know, if you received a piece of mail like this with maybe from the Department of Insurance, you know, it would be on their letterhead. What do you think?
Well, I'd like to see what, what it entails before I, commit, but I think it sounds all right.
From whom would you buy the list?
Well, it would come from, they get lists all the time from the Department of Motor Vehicles. There's plenty of people out there that sell targeted mailing lists.
I didn't say that when your birthday is.
Yeah, that's not what we need.
The only negative I could see with it would be, like I say, the logistics of it. Where are you going to have this, and how are you going to get these people together, and what about getting them there, and all of that sort of thing.
Right. That's, I think because these are people that are turning 65, hopefully the assumption is, and it's a good assumption, that they're more mobile.
But the problem, as I see it, is that people are retiring much later. People are not retiring at age 65 anymore. So you've got these people who are turning 65, but they're still working.
Right.
It creates a problem as to exactly when you're going to do this and how you're going to work it in and to get the largest possible attendance.
Right. It would probably have to be central and possibly even after hours to allow them to be able to come. Yeah.
If you could provide some incentive, that would help too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Or just
Door prizes.
I personally think I like the Medicare for the fraud fighter bingo. I've done it since I had that first disaster, and it's gone very well.
Yeah, they love it.
Right. Miss C was the first person to do bingo out of anybody, and I believe we've worked out all the kinks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of that.
Okay. Well, if anybody is interested in any of those, you just let me know, and I can send you more information on it. Definitely the Fraud Fighter Bingo and the Medicare Bingo, even if we schedule one that's in your area and you're interested in doing it, it's just a matter of me sending you the materials to do it.
Okay.
And they really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.